All right, let's do this. So I'm going to have Christmas Eve morning commute, and then which should be, if my calculations are correct, it should be the 800th episode. I got a cold. That's why I'm sniffling. Let's see. I've talked about everything that's been coming up. I'm doing one final Potteroo. Doing one final Potteroo, and for 2025, and I really have to say goodbye to riddance to this year. I know in 2004 I was really, really hopeful, and I was gearing up. I had the new job, and it was really difficult for me to do everything, get everything done. And I had to make concessions, but I had to keep things in focus and prioritize and all that other freaking fun shit. That goes along with it. So, yeah, I got all the fun stuff that goes along with it, and sorry, I'm distracted because I'm driving. Let me collect my thoughts now. I knew I was going to sneeze. I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, getting everything in order and stuff like that, and I really thought that 2025 was going to be a much better year, regardless of who was in office and everything like that. It didn't work out that way. Literally in the exact same boat I was last year at this time. hoping that the next year is going to be better. I don't know. I really don't know. I really wish I had kind of an answer for you. Or even myself. I know I joke that, I'm gonna live long enough to watch the end of humanity. And I really don't know what comes next. I know that, like, whenever they do like a disaster movie or post-apocalyptic, type movie, or some futuristic wasteland, or wherever it is, nobody focuses on the people who didn't survive. I mean, even zombie movies. Barely even touch on who those zombies were before they turned. And I know what you're thinking, like going, what about the people like that turned into zombies? And it's like, yeah, but think of how many zombies. And I'm not just talking about the ones that they just waste and everything like that. Just think about how many zombies that they have coming in, in every zombie movie. I mean, every zombie movie moves the same way. They have such close contact with the zombies. Sometimes they're even brushing the zombies off. These are carriers of probably an airborne virus. That eats you up and kills you from the inside before reanimating you. And the number of people that, who have a backstory and stuff like that, doesn't outweigh the number of zombies that they just throw at you. The only good thing about a zombie, if zombies happen, is if you don't have any contact with them whatsoever, you have a good chance of survival. Because eventually, all the zombies will die out, including the ones that got reanimated. And it won't take very long. Because contrary to popular belief, they are just rotting corpses. I don't care if you make them move fast. not a big zombie movie fan. I know what you're thinking. First he freaking trashes on vampires, now he's trashing on freaking zombies. Yeah. Lots of zombie movies and, you know, things like that. And doing special effects makeup. That's my bread and butter. And I'm shitting on it. I made it sound like I'm still doing it. I'm not doing anything. But it's looking. I had a lot of good times. I'll put it that way. There were almost as many not so fun times. I remember when I started looking for things that would help me become a better streamer. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and only one person that I could think of. There might have been others, but I actually really told, said what the cost is. And yeah, it's gonna cost a lot of time. That's a big one. Is your time. Streaming costs a lot of time, but it takes a toll. Not just in time. I'm talking about being creative, being on, making even making these videos, which have no expectation. And it's not like, there's some good, there's some bad. They're all pretty much the same. Me whining about something. But yeah, I thought that was the one person that actually talked about what it actually takes to be a streamer, and how most people aren't ready for the sacrifice. And I have to admit, I don't think I am. Especially after this year. I mean, the first year, everything was new. It was all, it was kind of sparkly, and, people who I thought were really nice were not very nice. And, I watched a lot of people come and go. I mean, the survival rate is basically zero. I have a better chance of surviving a zombie apocalypse. definitely think that and this is my opinion. This isn't fact, because the bigger somebody is, it's darn near impossible for them to keep up with all the people. Yeah, I remember. I'm going to use Iron Mouse as the example. I remember when Iron Mouse broke 100 viewers on her stream, and how I thought, oh my God, this is like, I can't even get a word in edgewise. And the things that, the jokes and stuff like that I want to say that I'm trying to type up, somebody has already typed it up, like, before she even said the comment that made me want to react to it. I mean, it was like, it was bad. Everybody vying for attention in chat. And I think she did it right. She called everybody in chat precious family. I watched her navigate that. And I don't know how she navigates with having 7,000, 10,000 people on at once. I can't even imagine. I know what it feels like to be in chat. She's got slow mode on, and it literally is, you can't even get anything in. Like I said, I remember when she was breaking 100 consistently. It was very difficult. I went from participating to just listening, and then I went from listening to not even watching live streams again. I got so many other people that I could be watching. And yeah, I do kind of judge the streamer on how much they interact with chat. They could be the worst gamer in the world. My only criteria is how much they interact with chat. One of the biggest tricks that I definitely have noticed, and I might employ that sometimes, but I don't have a lot of people chatting, so I can give huge amounts of time to one single person when I stream. But yeah, I definitely judge that, and I also know that there's been people who can handle 100 people in chat and all talking at once, and I always thought well, that's the mark of a great streamer, and I don't know. It kind of burns me out. I said, I remember, we're getting near the end, and I really wish I did the predictions, because I would have been way off if I did the predictions for what do you call it? 2025. I mean, I would have been stupidly off. I could never have predicted that. I knew it was going to be bad. I knew that they were going to try things, but I didn't even realize how much the checks were in place the first time around, and how this time around there's no checks. And running rampant. Pretending like they're helping. That's what makes it even crazy. That's what makes the whole thing so almost insane when you think about it. Or when I think about it. I don't know how you feel. It's definitely affected me personally. It definitely is I've been feeling the effects of it. And the grocery store is only a small bit of it. I mean, when they say the cruelty is the point, the cruelty is the point. It has nothing to do with anything else other than just to be cruel, to be cruel. Pretending to be Christian. Enough about that crap. I mean, with climate instability and everything else going on, just basically they put their heads in the sand on that one. I don't know where that thing where ostriches put their head in the sand comes from. I think that's where the putting your head in the sand comes from. I don't know who said it first, and I don't know why. sometimes like close their eyes and think that everything's calm. Like, oh my god, I closed my eyes. It's totally dark. Christmas songs freaking stuck in my head. I'd rather talk about politics. But yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I really am. I hope that for even you, I hope all your wishes come true. I think 2026 is going to be a rough year. If I'm going to be realistic about it. Remember how yesterday I was talking about how I'm not humble? Or was that the day before? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I try to be objective. I know that I'm not. If that makes sense. I try to state what is and not like put my own personal spin on it. I remember like somebody was talking about like going, oh well, that's you trying to put a spin on it. I was like, prove me fucking wrong. It's like, yeah, I'm advocating for what I want. But when I say I think it's the best solution, yeah. Obviously, it's what I want. These are the concessions I'm willing to make to get what I want. They think that's a starting point. Like, that's my goal. You don't get the concessions without it. I take them all back. The more you change up the deal. You're going to be having an imaginary freaking argument. With myself. Huh? Sorry, I was buying somebody really slow and they finally turned off. We're in the shade. Made in the shade. But yeah, I definitely hope that next year is going to be better. Hey, In 2023, if you told me that I was already going to have over 200 subscribers here on YouTube, I would have told you you're a liar. Which is really weird because 2 years before, when I started, I thought I was going to be monetized in 6 months. I thought I was going to be monetized in 6 months. I talk about how I give everything a year. Just so you know, I gave streaming a year and it failed on every level. Most terms of services were unusable. I mean, like what Twitch does still fucking pisses me off. And and YouTube is better, but not by much. And now freaking Twitter got into the freaking fray for streaming. And who knows what that fucking monetary system is. Totally uninterested. And I really haven't, and I have to admit, I really haven't seen much better. And normally in these situations, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to strike out on my own and do it like that. Yeah, start it from the ground up. And it's just like to quit it. Like, I mean, even with 40K, that's what I did not like a lot of things that the Games Workshop does. So I created my own game. In fact, I created 2 games. I created one called Paintball and I created another one called Gene Splicers. All because I hated the way the game played. Thought it was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And yeah, I know that with Gene Splicers, I'm going into percentages. But it's out. Everything that I've done, I do it like that. I think it's part of my addictive personality that I was talking about before. Cool beans, comments below. It doesn't have to be cool beans. It can be whatever you like. Do what you want. I hope you're in good spirits and things are going well for you. And I hope that you are progressing the way you want to. I hope. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic time doing it. I really do. All right, and take care.